Chosen one, stop scrolling. Because this message is not finding you by accident. You've been telling everybody you're okay for a long time now. Smiling when people ask how you are. Saying, I'm just tired. Saying, I'll be fine. Saying, it's nothing. But deep down, you know the truth. Something inside you has been hurting quietly for a very long time. And maybe nobody around you fully sees it. Maybe the people around you think you're strong because you never completely fall apart in front of them. Maybe they think you've healed because you still laugh sometimes. Maybe they think you're at peace because you stop talking about your pain. But God knows you're pretending to be okay. He knows the exhaustion behind your smile. He knows the heaviness you carry into bed every night. He knows the silent battles happening inside your mind that nobody else hears. Chosen one, tonight this message is for the version of you that's tired of acting strong. The version of you that secretly wants someone to look into your eyes and say, I know you're hurting. Because honestly, you've become too good at hiding pain. You learned how to function while emotionally drowning. You learned how to comfort others while your own soul was collapsing quietly. You learned how to keep showing up even when your spirit felt exhausted. And everybody praised your strength, without realizing your strength was slowly breaking you. Chosen one, listen carefully now. Some of the strongest people are actually the most emotionally exhausted. Not because they're weak, because they carry pain silently for too long. And you've been carrying too much for too long. The pressure, the loneliness, the disappointment, the emotional confusion, the overthinking, the silent heartbreaks nobody knows about. You carry it quietly, because somewhere along the way, you convinced yourself that your pain was a burden to other people. So instead of opening up fully, you started minimizing your suffering. I'm okay. It's not that serious. I'll get through it. But chosen one, surviving is not the same thing as healing. And God says your soul is tired of pretending. You know what hurts the most? Not even the pain itself. It's the feeling that nobody notices how hard you're trying. Nobody notices how much energy it takes just to get through certain days. Nobody notices the mental battles happening behind your silence. Nobody notices the emotional weight you carry while still trying to be there for everyone else. Chosen one, you became everybody's safe place while secretly needing one yourself. That's why your spirit feels so drained lately. You pour into others constantly. You encourage others constantly. You listen to everybody else's problems constantly. But when it comes to your own pain, you stay silent. And over time, silence became your survival mechanism. Because you got tired of explaining what you felt. Tired of being misunderstood. Tired of hearing surface-level responses to deep emotional pain. So instead of opening up, you learned how to suffer quietly. Chosen one, God sees every hidden tear. Even the tears you wipe away quickly before anyone notices. He sees the nights when your mind refuses to rest. The moments when your chest feels heavy for no clear reason. The emotional exhaustion that follows you everywhere lately. And hear this carefully tonight. Just because nobody else understands your pain fully does not mean your pain is invisible to God. He sees all of it. The disappointment you never talked about. The heartbreak you pretended didn't affect you. The rejection you brushed off publicly but cried about privately. The loneliness you carry even in crowded rooms. Chosen one, some of you are emotionally exhausted because you've been living in survival mode for years. Not peace. Not healing. Survival. There's a difference. Survival mode teaches you how to function while disconnected from yourself emotionally. You stop checking how you truly feel. You stop processing emotions properly. You stop resting mentally. You just keep going. And eventually, your soul becomes numb. That numbness scares you sometimes, doesn't it? Because there are moments now where you don't even know what you feel anymore. You just feel tired. Spiritually tired. emotionally tired, mentally tired. And the scary part is, people around you still expect you to stay strong because you've always been the strong one. Chosen one. Being strong all the time is exhausting. Especially when nobody checks on the strong people properly. People assume you'll always recover, always handle it, always bounce back. But God says your heart has been carrying pain nobody truly understands. And honestly, some of your deepest pain comes from things you never got closure for. Situations that changed you emotionally but were never fully resolved. People who disappeared without explanation. Betrayals that still affect your trust. Moments that shattered your confidence quietly. Chosen one. Unresolved pain does not disappear just because you stop talking about it. It hides. And hidden pain eventually starts affecting everything. Your sleep, your energy, your relationships, your peace, your faith. That's why lately you felt emotionally overwhelmed even by small things sometimes. Your spirit is overloaded. You've been carrying emotional weight for so long that your nervous system no longer knows how to relax completely. And God says this is the season where healing can no longer be postponed. Because your soul cannot continue surviving on emotional emptiness forever. Chosen one, hear this carefully now. The reason you struggle opening up emotionally is because pain taught you vulnerability is dangerous. At some point, you trusted people with your heart, and they mishandled it. They minimized your feelings, ignored your pain, judged your emotions, or abandoned you when you needed support most. And after enough experiences like that, you stopped believing people could truly hold space for your emotions safely. So now you pretend you're okay even when you're falling apart internally. Because pretending feels safer than disappointment. Chosen one. That defense mechanism protected you for a season. But now it's slowly isolating you emotionally. Because healing requires honesty. Not fake strength. Not emotional masks. Honesty. And tonight God is asking you something important. When was the last time you admitted how tired you really are? Not surface level tired. Soul tired. The kind of tired sleep doesn't fix. The kind of tired caused by carrying emotional pain silently for too long. Chosen one. Some of you don't even recognize yourself anymore. You miss the old version of you. The version that laughed easier, trusted easier, dreamed bigger, felt emotionally lighter. Pain changed you. Disappointment changed you. Repeated heartbreak changed you. Betrayal changed you. And now you spend so much energy pretending you're okay that you barely have energy left to actually heal. Chosen one. God says stop forcing yourself to appear emotionally fine while your soul is crying for help internally. Because healing begins the moment you stop lying to yourself about what hurts. You don't need to have everything figured out right now. You don't need to be emotionally perfect. You don't need to pretend your faith makes you immune to pain. Even spiritually strong people get exhausted. Even chosen ones break down sometimes. Even faithful people feel lost emotionally sometimes. That does not make you weak. It makes you human. Chosen one of the biggest lies you've believed is this. If I keep helping everyone else, eventually somebody will notice I need help too. But sadly, many people only learn how much you were carrying after you finally break down completely. That's why God is teaching you something important in this season. Stop abandoning yourself emotionally while trying to save everybody else. Because some of you have spent years prioritizing everyone's emotional needs except your own. You became the listener, the helper, the encourager, the dependable one. But deep inside, you secretly wished somebody would care for you the same way you care for others. And honestly, that unmet emotional need became one of your deepest hidden wounds. Chosen one, let's go deeper spiritually now. Sometimes God allows emotional exhaustion because it forces you to confront pain you kept avoiding. You kept distracting yourself, keeping busy, overworking, overthinking, overgiving. But eventually, your soul demanded attention. That heaviness you feel lately? Part of it is your spirit asking for healing. Not distraction. Not temporary comfort. Healing. And healing is uncomfortable at first because it forces honesty. Honesty about what hurt you. Honesty about what broke you emotionally. Honesty about the people you never fully recovered from losing. Chosen one. There are still wounds inside you that you buried instead of healed. That's why certain memories still trigger emotion instantly. That's why certain songs hurt unexpectedly. That's why certain nights feel unbearably heavy emotionally. Your soul remembers pain your mouth stopped talking about long ago. But hear this carefully tonight. God is not exposing your pain to shame you. He's exposing it because He wants to heal it properly now. Chosen one, you were never meant to carry all of this alone. And some of you have been secretly angry with God lately. Not openly, quietly, because deep down, part of you wonders, why did you let me go through all this? Why the betrayal? Why the abandonment? Why the emotional suffering? Why the loneliness? Chosen one, God hears those questions too. And even your silence speaks loudly in heaven. He knows the prayers you stopped saying out loud. He knows the hope you quietly lost. He knows the moments when your faith felt exhausted. But hear this carefully now. Just because God feels silent sometimes does not mean He abandoned you. Some of your greatest spiritual growth happened during seasons where you thought nothing was changing. Pain matured you. Loneliness deepened your discernment. Heartbreak taught you boundaries. Rejection redirected your path. Chosen one. The enemy wanted your pain to harden your heart permanently. But somehow, after everything, your heart still carries love. That's powerful. Yes, you became more cautious. Yes, you became quieter emotionally. But your spirit still carries compassion. Still carries empathy. Still carries hope somewhere deep inside. And God says that softness in your heart is sacred. Do not let pain turn you emotionally cold forever. Because your story is not ending in emotional exhaustion. Healing is coming. Real peace is coming. Real emotional clarity is coming. Real spiritual restoration is coming. But first, you must stop pretending you're okay when you're not. Chosen one, another reason you hide pain so well is because you fear becoming a burden emotionally. You fear people leaving if they see how broken you really feel sometimes. So instead, you perform strength constantly. But real connection cannot exist where masks exist permanently. And God says it's safe to start being honest again. Not with everybody, but with Him first. Because healing starts when you finally say, I'm tired. Not polished prayers. Not perfect words. Just honesty. I'm tired. Chosen one. Heaven responds to honest hearts. And God is closer to your brokenness than you realize right now. Especially on the nights when nobody else sees your pain. Especially during the moments when you feel emotionally abandoned. Especially when you cry silently and immediately wipe your tears away. He sees all of it. And hear this carefully tonight. You are not weak because you're struggling emotionally. You've simply carried too much without proper healing for too long. That's different. Chosen one, stop punishing yourself for feeling deeply. Your emotions are not your enemy. Your exhaustion is not weakness. Your tears are not weakness. Your sensitivity is not weakness. Your soul has simply been trying to survive overwhelming emotional weight. And now God is calling you into a season of restoration. A season where you stop performing strength and start embracing healing. A season where peace matters more than pretending. A season where emotional honesty matters more than looking fine. Chosen one day you will look back at this season and realize something powerful. The moments when you felt emotionally broken were actually the moments God was rebuilding you internally. Because sometimes things must fall apart emotionally before healing can truly begin spiritually. And yes, you may still feel tired tonight, but you are not abandoned. You are not forgotten. You are not invisible to heaven. God knows you're pretending to be okay. And He's reaching for your heart even now. Not the fake smile. Not the strong version. Not the version everybody else sees. The real you. The exhausted you. The hurting you. The emotionally overwhelmed you. And before this message ends, hear this carefully. You do not have to carry everything alone anymore. God is already making space for healing in your life. But healing begins the moment you stop pretending you're okay when your soul is crying for peace. And before you leave tonight, if this message spoke directly to your heart, comment below. God knows my pain. I want to know who is finally choosing healing over pretending. And if this message touched your spirit deeply, subscribe now. Because this channel is for chosen ones healing emotionally, spiritually, and mentally together. Chosen one. People may not see your hidden pain, but God always has.